On to debate number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The battle for the May 10th Karnataka elections is getting intense. Congress MLA Akhanda Murthy resigned from his post after he was denied a ticket by the party. This, despite the fact that the Congress leader, who was a victim of the 2020 riots in Bengaluru's DJ Halli and KJ Halli, had won his assembly seat with a huge margin of 81,000 votes in the last held elections. Akhanda's house was burnt down by the mob during the riots, and he today claimed that he was being framed for the 2020 riots. Akhanda disassociated himself with his nephew's controversial tweet on the prophet that allegedly sparked the riots, and has alleged that a few Congress leaders had created an impression that Muslims were against him, and that was being used as the ground to deny a ticket to him for the upcoming polls. Listen in.
जरूर वैसा चौका है कई को तो 2020 में कौन की करे सो प्रॉब्लम मैं नहीं करिया मेरा फैमिली में मैं हमारा फैमिली नहीं करिया कौन किया हमारा बहन का बेटा कर बोलेगा तो उन्हें सेपरेट है उसका घर उसका आज बाएं बाएं नहीं रहता हमें सभी हम एक साथ है वो कौन की करे तो कई को मुझे पनिशमेंट दे रहा है कांग्रेस पार्टी में कई को मौलाना सब बोले वो ये बोले कर को मौलाना सब कौन भी नहीं बोला बड़ा मौलाना अरबी कॉलेज का गुरु हमने आग को हमारा घर बन को देते कर बोल को है हमारा साथ है साहब अब कौन की बोले कर को कौन की हमारा कॉन्सेंसी वाला कौन भी नहीं बाहर कॉन्सेंसी वाले बोले कर को हमने टिकट नहीं देना कर को तकलीफ दे रहा है
Times had earlier reported on the involvement of SDPI in the 2020 Bengaluru riots. Former Congress Mayor Sampath Raj was even named in the charge sheet filed in the case, and an SDPI leader, Muzammil Pasha, was also arrested. However, the Congress, which was recently seen openly seeking support from the SDPI, has punished its own Neta, who was a victim in the entire episode. The BJP slammed the Congress, accusing it of appeasement politics.
Congress is always into appeasement politics. It is not able to protect its own MLA. They never made any statement. Law is everybody. Law should be enforced. Law abiding. We need to be a law abiding citizen. Congress party doesn't believe in law, constitution. It only believes in only taking care of their self-interest.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Go across to all our guests. Joining us with us is T Sankeerth, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Anurag Naidu, author, is with us. Pratap Kanagal, spokesperson of the JDS, also joins us, as does advocate Sanket Yenagi, who is a political analyst. Let me start with you first, Mr. Yenagi, and let me begin by asking you what you just heard this person, Akhanda Murthy, say to our reporter. He is alleging that there was a perception created that he was not given the ticket because he was portrayed as being against the interest of Muslims by a certain section of Congress's leadership. This is a very, very serious charge coming in the wake of what happened in 2020, where his own house was attacked and burnt down, as you very well know. How do you respond to this question that has been raised by Mr. Murthy?
First of all, this is an internal issue of the Congress and the Congress committee and Mr. Akhanda Murthy. The committee has certain recommendations based on its assessment, and there is a report of an assessment based on which his candidature has been considered. If he is found to be eligible, it would be given, ticket would be given. If he is found to be not eligible, someone else is more eligible than him, he would be denied, as simple as that. And the assumption of Mr. Akhanda Murthy may not be is a valid ground to have the discussion on that matter. And more so, if he has a grievance, there is a forum in the party which you ought to have adopted too, and for the recourse. But secondly, Mr. Akhanda Murthy's statement or the claim or an allegation against the High Command is viewed very seriously, as if it's the breach of the principles of the privacy, in as much as the rules of discipline of the party. And his statement is without any basis, unfounded, and it cannot be considered.
Mr. Yenagi, he is the highest margin winner in the last assembly election, so bound to be questions raised when a person who is the highest winning margin is not given a ticket. And end of the day, I mean, this is not something rebel candidates or dissent within parties is not something we don't see in other political parties. So my simple question to you is this not something that is going to be bound to raise questions? And if the party really felt that, here is an individual who is either working against the party's interest, perhaps that would have been told to Mr. Murthy beforehand. He could have been taken into confidence. He could have been convinced. But none of that has happened, has it?
So if you can see the list of candidates which has been announced by the Congress, there are several sitting MLAs who have been denied ticket. It is not how they succeeded or how they won in the previous election that matters for them to be considered for the eligibility of this election.
Okay.
What matters is the perception, the quality of service,
Okay.
commitment to the work, development in the constituency.
All right,
And
we have
so
limited time, so I'm going to quickly bring in the BJP spokesperson, T Sankeerth. Mr. Sankeerth, your response to Sanket Yenagi, who says that it is nothing to do with any kind of vote bank politics or any other considerations, it's purely merit. There's been a committee that has assessed the winnability and they've gone through and they've decided who is the best candidate for them. It's Congress's internal matter. You're fishing in troubled waters. Mr. T Sankeerth, your response.
If you can recap a bit behind, the Akhanda Murthy, as you already told, has won with the highest majority in Karnataka. That too in Bengaluru, he is the first person who has won with a majority of more than 72,000 votes. Secondly, he is a Dalit leader from the Congress. This shows that how Congress treat their Dalit leaders, how they use them for only as the vote banks. Even the Dalit and the backward classes, the Congress use them only as vote bank. And this is the maximum appeasement which is always practiced and done by the Congress party from the last 60 years. Akhanda Murthy, in his case, his house was burnt. The police stations were vandalized. And certainly the accused who is also an accused is Ms. Sanket Kumar, who is the previous mayor of Bengaluru, and who is trying to also lobby for the ticket from the Congress party in the Pulkeshi Nagar assembly. So this clearly shows that how Congress is trying to use the Dalits, use the backward classes, and just for the sake of the elections. And
Sanket, quick response. Dalits are being used for electoral purposes. Quick response, please.
No, as if they are saying they have utilized the Lingayats in the Karnataka, the way the BJP has utilized and misutilized the Lingayats and thrown them out. Similarly, they are trying to compare the same thing with Congress, which is not acceptable.
Okay.
The situation is entirely different. It is purely subjective assessment of the candidature. That's it.
Okay. I want Anurag Naidu to come into this. Anurag, Sanket Yenagi says the manner in which Lingayats have been used or misused and thrown away, that's his allegation. The same way, the same party cannot raise questions about how Dalits may have been used or misused by the Congress party. Quick response, Anurag.
Come on, that's not the simple thing. The simple thing is Akhanda Murthy, even during the riots, Madhav, you'll recall that he was always into this face-off with the Congress president of the state, Mr. DK Kumar, who again, put him across the disciplinary committee, and right from the riots when he was victimized, when he had to take this, the house was burned. Look at this candidate with 81,626 majority, 2018. It is unprecedented, and you are telling that he doesn't have winnability, he doesn't have popularity. It is unbelievable. And the interview that you were just we telecasted, Madhav, where Deepak was interviewing Mr. Akhanda Murthy, he categorically mentioned about one Muslim cleric or one Maulana who was involved. I don't know who he was mentioning, but the direction was very clear that he's got some kind of information that there is an external influence on the party in the decision making. So I think more than all of us discussing, he had something out to be spoken about. And I think in days to come, he's going to make it clear. And what is the reason behind him not getting a ticket, who has got a highest majority across the state. And I really don't understand it's a safe state or kind of an arrogant. The Congress is feeling that they're sweeping this Karnataka state, maybe 1 or 2 seats will not matter. But let's also understand, when you claim that you have a backward class AICC president, you should also respect the backward class candidate across all the seats who have worked for your party day in and day out.
All right, let me bring in Pratap Kanagal of the JDS. How does the JDS view this up? Is this vote bank politics, as the BJP is alleging? Is this internal rivalry within the Congress party and its two factions, as we very well know, that's playing out? Or is it just pragmatic politics, as Sanket seems to suggest?
See, basically, when it comes to Akhanda Srinivas issue, you can see that a lot of, as other gentleman was mentioning, we can see a lot of rift between this, another aspirant Sanket Kumar and Akhanda Srinivas, and wherein Akhanda Srinivas is Siddaramaiah faction and Sanket Kumar belongs to DK Kumar faction. So there is a lot of infighting and competition between these two leaderships. So each Siddaramaiah trying to avoid, try to give the tickets to his followers, and DK Kumar is trying everything possible to give the tickets to his followers. So that's where the all these problems have started. But how somehow we feel that it's an injustice to a Dalit leader. Who has been who's been continuously winning from the constituency. Earlier he was with JDS, then he shifted to Congress. So it's an injustice basically. And if you see that result of which you can see that even Zamir Ahmad, who was
Sanket Yenagi,
a supporter of
even JDS says it's injustice to a Dalit leader. BJP may be saying so. JDS is not a party. JDS is not a party that you would accuse of being anti-secular. Yet they believe it's an injustice to Dalits. How do you respond to the JDS, sir?
Let me answer that question.
Yeah, he's been continuously. He's a person who has been, even though he was winning in JDS, after that he shifted to Congress. He is winning in the same margin. So he's
Should I answer that question?
Yes, Sanket Yenagi, quick response, please.
Yes. The committee consists 60% of the committee members are belonging to scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe. They are Dalits, and Congress president is also a Dalit. So all those people have considered the candidature on a subjective assessment. It hardly matters to the party whether someone is Dalit or someone is not Dalit, unless there is a development in the constituency.
Okay.
And there is no allegation as such. It is a subjective assessment.
Okay.
And these Dalit leaders have considered him not to be eligible candidate.
He's in Siddaramaiah faction. That is also a matter.
Yes. All right. That is a matter. That is also a matter of concern. We'll have to leave it there. Completely out of time. T Sankeerth, Anurag Naidu, Pratap Kanagal, Advocate Sanket Yenagi. I'd like to thank all you gentlemen for joining us on debate number 2 on the Newshour this evening.